Well, then the Rockets made another deal, and again, another one I just don't quite understand. They trade Shane Battier and Ishmael Smith to the Grizzlies for Hashim Thabit, Demario Carroll, and a first round pick. Why in the world do you take Hashim Thabit and his giant contract when he has done absolutely nothing since being drafted second overall? Demario Carroll, who is a nobody,
Jamare, yeah.
Damari Carroll. I mean, the first round pick that's not bad, but Shane Battier and a lot of people from looking on Twitter and just looking at comments, a lot of Rockets fans are really upset that they got rid of Ishmael Smith. I don't understand this deal. I mean, was Battier that unhappy there?
No, I think the Rockets had basically said, we need to get a center. We need to get a center. We need to get a center.
But really,
And I
you
think
after Hashim Thabit, that's
you
that's
know
your
what?
center of the future.
He's a young guy. He's a shot blocker. He hasn't played very well, but he's also been the third man on the rotation
Yeah,
down in
because he's been in the
Memphis.
D League since he got drafted. He's the first player to ever be sent to the D League, being picked in like the top five. That either tells you he's that bad, or that the Grizzlies don't know how to work young talent.
I think the Rockets are hoping for the latter. I think they're really hoping that he just is a little rough around the edges, but they're going to be able to. And the Rockets have, in the past years, been able to get a lot of effort out of players who you would not think are the big names. They've really done a lot with a very little, and I think if there's a team in the league that can really get him to do something, I think the Rockets will be that team. I absolutely love the move for Memphis. I think Memphis came out one of the best trades in the deadline for the simple fact that they bring in a veteran who is a good locker room presence for that team that's kind of schizo right now. They've got some negative players in there, but I think he's going to bring stability, and he's also going to provide that depth at the 3 and the 4 spot, which was kind of the reason for the failed trade with the Pacers. But I honestly think he's going to provide so much for them, defensive, intensity, and to give them somebody off the bench who's going to really provide a lot of elements to that team that's been looking for more defense and more leadership.
Yeah, I mean it's a good trade for the Grizzlies. It upgrades them. It gives them someone to put in there while Gay is injured. So it's not a bad trade. I just don't understand the trade from Houston's standpoint. I mean, unless I'm guessing Houston's basically gonna drop everything and try to rebuild a little bit. I mean, they got some good pieces down there, and they got Yao Ming's expiring contract coming off the books after this year, and I guess the beat could be good if they can figure out how to get the most out of him. But
I
I don't know about this trade.
I think the Rockets had the most disappointing of all the teams because they really didn't significantly upgrade any position. They also had Yao's contract they could have done something with. They had Aaron Brooks, who was being sought after by quite a few teams, and they really all they turned in was Goran Dragic, possibly a failed former third pick, and you know maybe a pick, a couple picks. I mean, I don't see it to be a really conducive trade. So
Yeah, another one that you like, but I still don't really understand the Hawks Wizards deal. The Hawks get Kurt Heinrich and Hilton Armstrong, while the Wizards receive Mike Bibby, Maurice Evans, Jordan Crawford, who I'm pretty sure is a rookie this year, and then the 2011 first round pick from the Hawks. Now, what I don't understand about this deal is from the Hawks end, you gave up a lot of things for Kirk Heinrich. And I understand Kirk Heinrich's not horrible, but he's not that great. I've never been super impressed with Kurt Heinrich. And I understand Mike Bibby's defensive is just terrible defensively. Jordan Crawford, I haven't seen the guy play this year, but I know how he was at Xavier, and he wasn't that bad. And watching him at IU,
and
he was pretty good.
he lit up the
Yeah.
summer leagues too.
So you give up Bibby, Crawford, and then you throw in a first round pick. Why do you need to throw in a first round pick to get this deal done? That part of it, I will never understand. Kurt
I lo-
Heinrich is not worth all those picks. I'm pretty sure Jordan Crawford was a first round pick as well. So you're basically giving up two first round picks, a decent point guard, and then I mean obviously Maurice Evans was thrown in there.
I think for the Hawks' perspective, they really needed to get much more intense on the defensive end, and frankly, Bibby was not doing them any favors. They were a team who has had a lot of offensive strength, but other than being able to shoot an occasional shot from the field, I really don't think Bibby was giving them a lot of anything else. I mean, really, he's getting older. He's not moving as well. And I think you really see a lot of Kirk Heinrich's ability to attack the ball, to be that ball handler, to make the 3-point shots occasionally. He's not a great mid-range shooter, but he can get it done when he needs to. But I think that defense and that intensity is really what brings it. I like getting a shift at the Atlanta Hawks. I think they upgrade at point guard, which was their position that they really needed the most, and they didn't have to give up Jeff Teague for that. So I think give him a little bit more time to develop. So
Okay, I mean, I can see that. The next one, another one that, in some ways, I don't know. There's a lot of picks or a lot of trades this year that I just don't understand. You're trading players and you're trading picks that don't make sense. Bobcats Blazers. The Blazers get Gerald Wallace, who is a beast, and he's had his coming out party the last 2 years. The Bobcats received Joel Prisbilla, Dante Cunningham, Sean Marks, and then 2 first-round picks, 2011 and 2013. I understand the picks part of it because I believe Gerald Wallace is worth that kind of money. But the Bobcats are taking back nothing but expiring contracts. I don't understand where Jordan is coming from on this. Why would you want to trade Gerald Wallace? He was the only remaining Bobcat from when this team was an expansion team. He is the face of that team. Don't you want people to come play for you? I mean, you can't live off of being Michael Jordan. Nobody wants to just come play for Michael Jordan. If you're not going to build a team the right way, you got rid of Raymond Felton. Now he's getting rid of Wallace. You actually got to keep some people, and then you need to learn how to draft too. I don't get it. I do not get where Jordan is coming from with these trades.
I think the biggest thing is Wallace was really unhappy with the team. He's always going to be a guy who's going to play hard, but I think he needed to be on a winner because, and you saw it, he played his best game when they were playing really, really well last year. I mean, he's a guy who needs a good team around him. I think it was a cap move. It's all about the money for Jordan right now. I think Bobcats are just feeling very overwhelmed financially, but I don't see this as being a productive move. I don't think and in all reality, all they got out of was his contract over the next couple of years, and they got 2 first rounds
Yeah,
from Portland, which usually makes the playoffs. So you're not seeing a whole lot out of a guy who, yeah, he's not going to be uber productive. His stats have been declining over the past year, but I think he's going to provide that intensity, that defense, and that small forward. Even though they already have Batum, I think he's going to be a guy who's going to be able to play the 3 and the 4 and really spread out the floor a little bit for them.
I see him playing more 4, and then they move Aldridge to 5. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that more likely. The one thing that is kind of against Wallace on this deal is he has had his fair share of knee problems. Portland seems to be the worst place to go if you ever have a knee problem. It really does make you wonder if he has a knee injury. Is that his career? Is he done? I mean, look at Brandon Roy. He's just now coming back. He had to have double knee surgery this year. Is he going to be the same player? I mean, Greg Oden isn't. Sam Bowie wasn't. Bill Walton wasn't. All these people that come through Portland who have knee problems, it's either they just have really, really bad luck with people with knee problems, or their medical staff is just awful.
They need to look in Phoenix because Phoenix made Shaq look good. So
yeah, it is really sad, and it can be. It could be scary for Wallace if those things crop up again. So then the Bobcats make another trade. Lo and behold, they trade Nazir Mohammed for DJ White and Morris Peterson from the Thunder. So the Thunder get a big man to play some center, and he's pretty good defensively. They give up DJ White, who has done absolutely nothing in the NBA, and Morris Peterson, who just keeps getting traded and traded and traded. So that deal is kind of a wash. Just another, I guess, cap clearing trade, which, DJ White's got got basically 3 years left. So, but then the Thunder make the second biggest trade, or the second one that could rival the Darren Williams in sneakiness because no one saw it coming. The Celtics trade Kendrick Perkins, their starting center, and Nate Robinson for Jeff Green, Kristich, and a 2000 first round pick. So with this deal, I don't understand why they got rid of Perkins. I understand from the aspect of it's his final year and he wasn't going to resign with them because he wants more money than what they can give because of the cap space. And I understand getting rid of Nate Robinson a little bit, not a whole lot, but I could see that. But I mean, you get back Jeff Green, who's not horrible, and you get back Kristich, who's actually really good defensively. But you once again load up the front court with semi decent talent. And I like the first round pick. I think that helps because it also shows that they're kind of looking towards the future. The big three's only got so many years left. You got to start getting talent. I just don't see it.
I will tell you, this was one of my favorite trades of the entire deadline, just simply because the Thunder got exactly what they needed. The Nazr Mohammed was a great for another big man, but Kendrick Perkins is a defensive, strong, tough, championship caliber center who has gotten it done before in the playoffs. And he's going to a team that has really been missing a big man who can play defense. I mean, really, he is a perfect fit for this team, and he's going to provide that intensity that the Thunder already has. They have a lot of energy already, but they need that physicality. And I think that physicality that Perkins brings is really going to be great. And some people are not a huge fan of the Nate Robinson aspect of it. I think Robinson's going to give them a little bit of scoring off the bench, which is not bad because they needed a little bit more depth. And I think giving them, a guy who can score. I've never been a huge Nate Robinson fan, but the guy is able to provide some assistance to you when you need to get points off the bench. And he just needs a little bit more playing space. Jeff Green, for them, he was a guy who was, again, going to have trouble getting money because they have to pay Durant, they have to pay Westbrook. So I think this move really is going to give Jeff Green a little more time to be able to play. And I think it's a good thing for Boston. I don't like them giving up Perkins. I think that was a dumb move, and I don't think, even though they're looking for signing some free agents, I don't see it as a solid move.
For the Thunder, I really love this move. Obviously, this was done for the Lakers because last year that was, I think, their biggest problem in the playoffs. They just didn't have the guys to go up against Bynum and Gasol. Now you do. You have Perkins, who has played against the Lakers many times. You have Ibaka, who's coming into his own. You have Aldrich. You have Muhammad.
Collison,
Yeah, you have Collison. You have guys there now that are big enough that you can wear down Gasol and Bynum. Because if those two players get knocked out, foul trouble, just being tired, the Lakers don't have anyone else. The Thunder now have 5 to 6 legit guys that can get in there and just bang with the Lakers, 2 guys, and take fouls and absorb the blows and just wear them down. Over a 7-game series, the Thunder come out ahead.
I really like this move for the playoffs, and I think this makes them. I'd move them up into the conversation of the top 4. I think they have potential. Spurs, Mavs, Lakers are top, but Thunder is right there, and I think you really have to say they're looking not a couple years down the line. They're looking to compete now, and I think that's something that I'm really excited about because this team is young, it's hungry, and it's got a lot of talent on it. I think you can really see a lot of amazing things coming from this team, especially in the upcoming playoffs.
The Celtics then made another deal, this time with the Sacramento Kings. They trade Marquise Daniels and a 2017 second-round pick that is protected. And the Celtics get back cash. They traded Daniels just because they needed cap space, and Daniels got hurt a week or so ago, and I think he's basically done for the year, if not.
Well,
if
he
not
he
for
had
most of
he
it.
had a serious injury, and
Yeah.
he's very lucky to be doing as well. But he's been injury plagued his entire career.